healthy bowl of oatmeal might actually be doing you harm? It sounds strange, right? After all, oatmeal is often hailed as the gold standard of breakfast, full of fiber, heart-healthy benefits, and known for supporting cholesterol and digestion. But what if I told you that, especially after the age of 60, your well-intentioned bowl of oats could quietly be putting your health at risk? In today's video, we're diving deep into 4 common oatmeal mistakes, things millions of older adults in America are doing every single morning, without realizing how dangerous they might be. These are mistakes that can raise inflammation, encourage toxic buildup, and even increase the risk of disease. You've made smart choices by choosing oatmeal, but without the right preparation, those good intentions might be sabotaging your health. And if you stick with me until the end of the video, you'll learn the one crucial adjustment that could make your oatmeal truly nourishing again and help protect your long-term health. But before we begin, if you're someone who's passionate about healthy aging, please like this video and consider subscribing to the channel. Your support helps us spread critical wellness tips to more seniors across the country. And I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, comment 1 down below. If not, comment 0 so I can continue improving our content for you. Now, let's begin with mistake number 1, and this one might surprise you. Mistake number 1, reheating leftover oatmeal. For many seniors, especially those living alone or managing a tight schedule, reheating oatmeal seems like a practical, harmless solution. You make a big batch once, store it in the fridge, and just reheat it in the microwave throughout the week. Seems efficient, right? But here's the hidden danger. Reheating leftover oatmeal, especially if it contains milk, cream, or sweeteners, can actually turn your nutritious breakfast into a source of inflammation, digestive trouble, and oxidative stress. Let me explain. As we age, our bodies naturally become less efficient at managing inflammation and fighting off oxidative damage. Unfortunately, when oatmeal sits in the fridge for too long or worse, stays out at room temperature, bacteria start to multiply and oxidation kicks in. These invisible processes break down the food's nutrients and can create compounds that quietly irritate your gut and immune system. Then, when you microwave that same oatmeal the next morning, the high heat can lead to the formation of AGEs, or advanced glycation end products. These harmful molecules form when sugars interact with proteins or fats under heat. Studies link AGEs to chronic inflammation, accelerated aging, and diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. Let me share a true story that might hit close to home. Walter, a 76-year-old retired teacher from Michigan, had always been health conscious. Every Monday morning, he'd prepare a large pot of steel-cut oats, thinking he was saving time and money. He'd scoop a portion into a bowl each morning and microwave it before breakfast. But after a while, Walter began noticing strange symptoms: persistent bloating, gut discomfort, and this nagging fatigue that wouldn't go away. Doctors ran test after test. Nothing seemed wrong. Until one day, his physician asked a simple question: "What do you eat for breakfast?" That's when the oatmeal conversation happened. Walter's doctor explained how aging guts are more sensitive to changes in food quality, especially when it comes to reheated grains. He suggested Walter try switching to freshly cooked, single-serving oatmeal instead. And guess what? Within 2 weeks, Walter reported feeling more energized, lighter, and more comfortable after meals. That one change made all the difference. So what's the takeaway? If you're over 60 and reheating oatmeal regularly, it might be time to change the habit. Make smaller, single portions. Prepare it fresh each morning if you can, or try overnight oats, which can be made cold and don't require reheating. Your body and your energy might thank you. Mistake number 2, relying on flavored instant oatmeal packets. They're convenient, they're quick, and they promise heart-healthy goodness right on the label. But those flavored instant oatmeal packets hiding in your pantry? They could be one of the sneakiest threats to your health, especially if you're over 60. Many of these prepackaged oatmeals are marketed as healthy. You'll see claims like, made with whole grains, low fat, or a good source of fiber. But here's what most people don't realize. Those same packets often contain hidden sugars, chemical preservatives, and artificial flavors that can silently sabotage your blood sugar, your heart, and even your brain health. Let's take a look at the ingredients on a typical apple cinnamon or maple brown sugar oatmeal packet. You might see things like maltodextrin, caramel color, natural and artificial flavorings, sugar in multiple forms, cane sugar, brown sugar, corn syrup solids. Sounds sweet, right? But here's the catch: one small packet can contain 12 to 18 grams of added sugar. That's nearly half of the recommended daily sugar intake for older adults, before you've even had your morning coffee. And for seniors with diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance, this kind of sugar spike first thing in the morning can be disastrous. It triggers a surge in blood glucose, followed by a crash that leaves you feeling fatigued, foggy, and craving even more sugar later in the day. But the danger doesn't stop there. Many instant oatmeals contain preservatives and coloring agents, like BHT and caramel coloring, that have been linked to inflammation, gut irritation, and even potential carcinogenic effects when consumed regularly over time. These additives may be tolerated by younger, more resilient bodies, but as we age, our detox systems slow down, and repeated exposure can take a much bigger toll. Let's revisit Mark, a 68-year-old widower from Texas who believed he was eating clean. Every morning, Mark would tear open a packet of maple and brown sugar oatmeal, add hot water, and head to the porch with his coffee. It was his favorite part of the day. But over time, he noticed his blood sugar readings were creeping up. His doctor warned him about prediabetes. Mark was confused. He didn't drink soda, didn't eat candy, and thought his breakfast was healthy. After a little food diary detective work, the culprit became clear: those flavored oatmeal packets. Once he made the switch to plain, unsweetened rolled oats and added his own toppings, like cinnamon, nuts, and a touch of stevia, his blood sugar began to normalize. Not only that, he reported feeling fuller, more energized, and mentally sharper throughout the day. So what should you do instead? Stick with plain oats. Old-fashioned rolled oats or steel-cut are best. They digest more slowly, cause less of a blood sugar spike, and offer a clean, blank canvas for healthier toppings. Try adding cinnamon, which naturally helps with blood sugar, a few chopped walnuts for omega-3s, or half a sliced banana for sweetness and potassium. And if you really want to spice things up, consider natural add-ins like chia seeds, ground flaxseed, or a dash of vanilla extract. These ingredients nourish your body without the sugar bomb hidden in those packets. The takeaway? Convenience shouldn't come at the cost of your health. Instant oats might save a few minutes, but over time, they could chip away at your energy, metabolism, and blood sugar control. If you're serious about feeling better as you age, this is one swap that makes a real difference. Mistake number 3. Adding the wrong toppings, especially sugar, syrups, and healthy dried fruit. You've cooked up a warm bowl of oats, and now it's time for the fun part: toppings. A drizzle of honey, a handful of raisins, maybe even a scoop of brown sugar. It's comforting, familiar, and it feels like a treat you've earned after all these years. But what if I told you that this one simple habit, what you put on your oatmeal, could be completely undermining its health benefits? That's right. When it comes to toppings, most seniors unknowingly turn their healthy bowl of oats into a sugar bomb that can spike blood glucose, promote inflammation, and even worsen joint pain and blood pressure. And it happens with ingredients that are often mistaken for being good for you. Let's break this down. First up, sugar. Whether it's brown, white, raw, or organic cane, sugar is sugar. And when added to a high-carb base like oatmeal, it sends your blood sugar soaring. Over time, these repeated spikes contribute to insulin resistance, fatigue, and in many cases, type 2 diabetes. Even worse, that quick sugar rush you get first thing in the morning doesn't last. Within an hour or two, your energy crashes, leaving you more tired than before, and more likely to reach for another unhealthy snack. But the problem doesn't stop at table sugar. Let's talk about honey, maple syrup, and agave nectar, the so-called natural sweeteners. While they might sound better than white sugar, they still cause a significant spike in blood sugar and insulin. And for those over 60, whose bodies metabolize sugar more slowly, these sweeteners may lead to weight gain, metabolic dysfunction, and chronic inflammation over time. And here's something even more surprising: dried fruit. Yes, those chewy bits of raisins, cranberries, and dried apricots that seem so harmless? They're actually concentrated sugar bombs. A small handful of raisins contains the sugar equivalent of a candy bar, and no fiber to slow it down. Many dried fruits are also coated in added sugar or preservatives like sulfur dioxide, which can irritate the digestive tract and exacerbate joint stiffness in older adults. Let me share the story of Ruth, a 70-year-old retired librarian from Oregon. Ruth considered herself pretty health-conscious. Every morning, she'd make oatmeal and top it with a tablespoon of brown sugar, a splash of maple syrup, and a handful of dried cranberries. It was her go-to breakfast. But over time, she noticed her knees were aching more than usual. She felt sluggish by 11 a.m., and her blood pressure was creeping up, despite her careful diet. It wasn't until her nutritionist pointed out the hidden sugar load in her breakfast that she realized what was happening. Ruth was essentially starting each morning with the sugar equivalent of a glazed donut. She made one small change, swapping the sweet toppings for cinnamon, chopped nuts, and a few fresh blueberries. Within 3 weeks, her energy improved, her joints felt better, and her blood pressure readings began to normalize. So what's the bottom line? Sugar, syrups, and dried fruits may look innocent, but they can sabotage your health when added to oatmeal, especially after 60. The body's tolerance to sugar declines with age, and what once felt like a treat can now fuel fatigue, joint pain, and even memory issues. Instead, try these smart toppings that enhance your oatmeal's benefits without the sugar crash. Cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar and adds rich flavor. Chia seeds or flax seeds add fiber, omega-3s, and protein. Nuts like almonds or walnuts support brain and heart health. Fresh berries, lower sugar content and packed with antioxidants. A dollop of Greek yogurt adds protein and a creamy texture. These swaps don't just taste good. They work with your body, not against it, helping you stay sharp, energized, and pain-free throughout the day.